begin.
All right, guys, that wraps up the training session for Monday night. It's a little bit after midnight, 12:41. Goodness gracious, a bit after midnight. I need some sleep. I know that's a theme, but we had electrical issues in the house during my sleep hours last night / this morning, and thought we got it fixed, and I got everything going. It's been running well all day, and got everyone into bed, and upstairs none of the electric outlets work. So lights work, heat and air conditioning work. You can't charge your phone. There's no internet. There's no white noise. My CPAP machine won't work. All kinds of goodies. So I may have to run extension cords. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm out here, and then the plan was to not get injured, to be as awake as possible, because I didn't get much sleep. And I wanted to go through another week of my training plan again on the logs. I need to continue to have, if I'm going to train log twice a week, one of the sessions has to be light, technique, figure something out, get some reps in, non-stressful on the body or the mind. And I did learn that I'm having this habit of leaning forward on my toes. And that could be because I don't have the strength in my calves and from the knee down to really balance myself. So every rep that I did where I was kind of leaned back and planted onto my heels, it was a lot easier. I could press a whole lot more that way. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but I guess we will see. So I've got to figure out exactly what I want to do with my body position. Maybe going back to getting my other weightlifting shoes fixed could make a difference because it has a slightly higher heel. Might be more beneficial to me to be able to get my quads into the lift while keeping the heel more on the ground. These are the Adidas power lifts. I know a lot of strongmen wear these for weightlifting or overhead events, things like that. These are their kind of powerlifting, weightlifting shoe. The actual Adidas weightlifting shoes, they're just a different level. I don't know. But log was solid. I had some plans for some front delts and some triceps, but I don't think that's the smartest thing to do when I'm greatly underslept. So came down to Sandbags. We're still getting rain, and it's yesterday I parked at the gym, and I took a photo, sent to my wife of a funny photo, and literally 4 minutes later we went from Nothing. 4 minutes later, there were the gym, the road where I park at my gym was flooded. It was wild. So we get the same thing here, just kind of off and on, enough rain just to get the sandbags wet and to keep them soaked. And the blue ones really aren't that bad. One of them was a little bit wet. The black one is just, it looks just like mud inside, and it's just soaked everywhere on the outside. And that's fine because here in another month, it's not going to rain again for 6 months or 8 months, whatever. So it really won't make that much of a difference. And it's a light bag, something different. So I set up in my first round all the way around was every 2 minutes on the 2 minutes, and the last round was every minute on the minute. And everything felt really good. The third bag that I loaded, I felt my bicep lock up and cramp a little bit, which is not uncommon for someone who has pulled or torn a bicep proximally. I didn't before I did sandbags. It felt good enough, and I did some work with the light sandbags. I didn't do a bunch of curls to warm up like I normally do. I try to get the cramp out on the warm-ups. I've been preaching this to a buddy of mine a lot lately, and then, of course, I didn't do it here when it mattered. But I just reminded myself as I continue to do the bags, don't curl the bag, don't row it in, stiff leg it up. And if I have to do any kind of rowing, make sure it's with the lats and not with the biceps. So the last round felt really, really good. And I'll say that the heaviest bag felt easier than the next to the heaviest bag. So that's it, guys. Wrapping everything up. Me and Harley are out here having a good time. I've got all my bourbons that I have. I've got a couple inside that's finished. I've got a bottle of Old Granddad and a bottle of Booker's that are just finished. And I may just hold on to them and smell them every once in a while. But I've got a bunch of bourbons out here, and I'm just going to sit out here. I've got some jalapeno poppers and some chili cheese fried things. What else is that over there? Some churros. I've got 4 chicken legs. I've got a steak, a bunch of cheese, strawberries, fruits, things like that. So all of the foods are going to be gone. And I just want to taste test the bourbons to kind of get an idea. Hey, which ones do I like the best? Which ones do I like the best? And I've been posting this on Facebook because I do this every Monday and Friday. So I've been posting kind of my results on what I like about what I've got out here. A couple of days after I do it on Facebook. Get a lot of great comments, a lot of interaction, because it seems like a lot of stuff that they have in the United States, we don't have here. And a lot of the stuff that we have here, they don't have in the United States. And a lot of the stuff that Americans tend to like, people really dislike here, like bourbon. It's too sweet. That's corn sweetness. Most people here do not like it. And then the Scotch here, and some of it is very peaty, some of it is very smoky. A lot of Americans don't like it. So, it's just one of those things that you've got to get used to. So I want to learn about all of it. I want to get educated and really do want to learn about every single one and what I like about each one. So, anyway, guys, I'll give you a little quick rundown again of what I've got going on up here, and then I've got to get inside and get cell phones and electricity and CPAP machines figured out for tonight. Catch you guys Wednesday at the gym. All right, guys, this is what I've got. I've got the turkey up here, the Wild Turkey 101. I kind of knew from the beginning that was probably going to be where it's at. Anything shy of like Booker's, this is where it's going to be. So there's so much here with that Wild Turkey 101. I believe it's got a good kick of rye in it. And being that 101 proof, the combination of the two, and it's just a solid quality of bourbon. And it's cheap, guys. That's like $30 or whatever for a liter. So, I'm comparing it to stuff that's 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 or more, for what I would buy. If money was no object, I would definitely get like Booker's or Bland's or something like that. Booker's for sure. There's a couple of scotches that I might have before that. If we're going with bourbon, it's the best I got right here. Now, the Makers, I really thought I was going to move that Makers way on down the line. I really thought I was, but I think that's where it's going to stay. You can't go wrong with a bottle of Makers. And I want to think that was like 26, 28, something like that. And it's only a 700, so it's not like this is a 1 liter. So it's, a little bit smaller bottle. But if there's something about that flavor that gets me, and it's really close to the Bullet 95. Oh, I'm gonna have to look at that a little bit. Look at it again. I'm gonna taste these two again. I don't know. These two are really, really close, but so far, I'm gonna have a few more glasses. But so far, the makers, it can go either way. But um, I like just. I'm used to makers. I'm used to makers. The bullet just came tonight. Just came as I was training. It's when it arrived. So I appreciate you sent me that. Now the Buffalo Trace, holy cow, guys, this was less than 30 as well. And I've said this for a few weeks, it tasted just like Woodford, but less reserved. And my only complaint with Woodford is that the Woodford Reserve tastes a little bit too reserved. Um, it seems like the Buffalo Trace, it to me, it tastes just like the Woodford, except it has a little extra kick kind of in the back of the tongue on the side. Not an alcohol kick, but maybe kind of a spice, pepper. I don't really know. Whatever it is, I enjoy it. If I'm picking between the two and money was no object, if I'm gifting it to a friend who just wants to, who doesn't know anything about bourbon, I might get them the Woodford because the bottle looks really, really nice and everyone knows that. Nobody knows Buffalo Trace. I mean, look at the bottle. It looks much cheaper compared to that Woodford. But doggone it, that Buffalo Trace is just somebody who really, really wanted to appreciate it and I never had it before. That's probably what I would get them right there. And it's half the price. So over here with these down here, I think that is where I would put them. So if we began with just the regular normal bean, I like it. I really, really do. I really, really like the bean. I'm not for sure if it is just a straight sipper. I mean, obviously it is. It's just, I straight sip everything, no ice. But I think it really shines if you mix it with Mountain Dew. If we had Mountain Dew or Coke and a bunch of ice, you can make something taste really, really good. And if you're not careful, you're gone really fast. I assumed that the Western Gold was the exact same as the bean. It tastes just like bean, but with maybe it's watered down. Is what it tastes like. Just a hair. Just a hair less character than bean. So, and the Devil's Cut tastes like bean with a little bit of extra spice. Actually, a whole lot of extra spice on the back end. You can tell it's bean. And like I said, if you like bean, you most often like Jim Beam Black. And if you like Jim Beam Black, you'll love Jim Beam's Devil Cut. The Four Roses, to me, it's missing a whole lot of character. And I think it's just this bottling, because I've heard a lot of people talk about, the single barrel, Four Roses, that's absolutely fantastic. I just haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it or had access to it. But this one is just not my favorite. It's really just not my favorite. And I chose not to open the Johnny Walker Double Black because I remember that whiskey's not going to be bourbon no matter how long you rest it or how many times you rest it in bourbon barrels. And of course that spray adhesive, good stuff. Good stuff, guys. I'm going to sit here for a little while longer and enjoy this. Wish you were here. Come on, see me now.